So the last lecture we have seen different identification tests or the different tests which can useful for the identification of phenols. Okay, so we will repeat this part again. Before that, we will go for the reactions which takes place in these टेस्ट ह्या टेस्टमध्ये कुठल्या कुठल्या रिएक्शन होतात ते बघू आणि त्यानंतर आपण ह्या टेस्ट आहेत त्या बघू परत कसे लास्ट लेक्चरला आपण बघितलेलं आहे अगेन वी विल रिपीट इन द दिस लेक्चर. So during these identification test or the qualitative test for the phenols, there are some reactions which are also important. So in the ferric chloride test, this reaction is important. That is the phenol it reacts with the ferric chloride with the neutral solution of ferric chloride, and it forms this complex. This complex is the intense color complex. Okay, it may be the red color, green color, or black, but it is the intense color complex. So depending upon the concentration of phenol we added, we are getting the different color, red, green, or black. But it is intense color complex, and if it is formed, we can say that the phenol is present. Similarly, in case of Lieberman test, okay, we are adding the sulfuric acid and sodium nitrate. Okay, so this is phenol, that is the C6H5OH. So we are adding the sulfuric acid and NaNO2. So phenol in sulfuric acid and in sodium nitrate. So we are getting the red color, and after addition of NaOH in the excess, we are getting the blue color, which indicates there is a presence of phenol. Okay, so this reaction is there. The phenol it reacts with the sodium nitrate in presence of dilute sulfuric acid. So NO group is attached to the para position. Okay, during that the tautomation takes place. That is the hydrogen from here double bond is single bond is present, this double bond comes here, this hydrogen it comes here, and we are getting this compound. It is the tautomeric compound. You can see they may be the changes in the what we are say rearrangement compound formed by the rearrangement reaction. Then hydrogen from sulfuric acid. So we know sulfuric acid is dissociates as H plus and HSO4 minus. So H plus ions comes to this part, so it gets the positive. Okay, so after there we are getting the indophenol compound. This indophenol compound is actually red in color, so we are getting the red coloration after addition of NaNO2 and water in presence of sulfuric acid. We are getting the red color. So this red color is the indication that is the formation of indophenol. So indophenol is the red color. That's why we are getting the red coloration. And when we are adding the excess amount of NaOH, or you can say KOH, okay, so this hydroxy group it is replaced by the salt, and we are getting the blue color complex. That's why we are getting the blue coloration. So this hydroxy group is replaced by the K, or if we are adding NaOH, we are getting the ONA. Okay, so that complex is formed, that compound is formed which having the blue color, indophenyl. So due to that, at the end of reaction, we are getting the blue color complex, which indicates there is a presence of phenol in the given sample. So in this way, we are getting the Lieberman test, that is the blue color or green color. It confirms the presence of phenol. So first we are adding sulfuric acid and sodium nitrate, then we are getting this indophenol. So this indophenol is the red color compound. So we are getting the dark color compound. And when we are adding the NaOH in that NaOH or KOH, so we form this sulfur that is indophenyl, which is the blue color. That's why we are getting the blue color or the green color, which confirms the presence of phenol in the given solution. Okay, that is the reaction for the Lieberman test. And then for bromine test, as we already studied, This phenol interacts with the bromine in presence of water, that is the bromine water. It forms the tribromophenol. So please go through this reaction. We have to by heart it. This tribromophenol, it having the white color. That's why we are getting the white precipitate when the bromine water test is takes place. So in this way, there are different tests, there are different reactions. We are getting the in the test. So please go through the test as well as you have to by heart the reaction. Okay. Now the next part of your syllabus, that is the structure and uses of different compounds having the hydroxy groups or the aromatic compounds with the hydroxy groups. In that the first compound is the phenol. So as we have studied what is the structure of phenol. Okay, so the benzene ring to which if hydroxy group is attached, it becomes the phenol. So the next part is the uses of phenols. So phenols are very important compound or phenolic compounds like resacinol, cresol, beta naphthols, alpha naphthol. These are the important compounds which are generally useful for the production of antiseptics as well as the disinfectant. So we are going through this part, that is the uses of phenol. So first one, production of antiseptic and disinfectant. So phenol is useful as an antiseptic. So chemical that kill microorganism but can be used safely on the skin. That is called as the antiseptic. So most of the antiseptic, they consist of the phenol. Okay, so phenol is useful for the production of antiseptic which can kill the microorganism, but it can be applied on the skin. Second one, it can be used as the disinfectant. Disinfectant means what which can kill the microorganism, and it cannot be used on the skin because it is dangerous to the skin also. Disinfectant. So you are seeing most of the uh, solutions we are using to clean the floor, लादी किंवा जी खालची फरशी आहे ती पुसण्यासाठी आपण फिनॉल वापरतो. त्याचं नावच फिनॉल आहे. सो फिनॉल इज द डिसइन्फेक्टंट. इट इज युजफुल टू किल द मायक्रो ऑर्गॅनिझम. पण ते फिनॉल कधी आपण स्किनला लावतो का? स्किनला लावत नाही. सो दॅट इज द डिफरंट पार्ट. So this antiseptic phenol, it can be applied on the skin as a antiseptic or to kill the microorganism. But another form of phenol, that is the disinfectant, which is useful to kill the microorganisms, but it is also dangerous to use on the skin. That is the different part, that is the antiseptic and disinfectant. So आपण फरशी पुसायला जे फिनॉल वापरतो ते आपण स्किनला लावत नाही किंवा हाताला लावू शकत नाही. So that is the disinfectant. Okay, so another form of phenol is used as disinfectant. So substituted phenols can be used as antiseptic in TCP, Dettol. त्याच्यामध्ये फिनॉलचं कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन त्याच्यामध्ये असतं, which is useful as the antiseptic. Next part, it is useful for the preparation or the production of thermosetting plastic किंवा resins. त्याच्या प्रिपरेशन साठी सुद्धा आपण हे फिनॉल वापरू शकतो. So for the thermoplastic polymers, what is thermoplastic polymers? Soften on heating and can be molded into the different shape. एखादं जर आपण केमिकल आहे ते हीट केल्यानंतर ते सॉफ्ट होतं. सॉफ्ट केल्यानंतर आपण त्याला कुठलाही आकार देऊ शकतो. इट इज द थर्मोप्लास्टिक पॉलिमर्स. सो त्यासाठी आपल्याला फिनॉलची गरज असते. सो फॉर एक्झाम्पल पॉलिथिलीन, पीव्हीसी. ओके, सो त्याच्या प्रोडक्शनसाठी आपल्याला फिनॉलची गरज असते. सो इट कॅन बी यूज फॉर द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ थर्मोप्लास्टिक polymers or the thermoplastic resins. For thermosetting polymers also, which is set hard on formation and cannot be softened or modulated. Bakelite is the best example of thermosetting polymers. आता आपल्याला माहित आहे बरोबर आहे, जर लोखंड आपण वितळतो आणि त्याच्यापासून नवीन भांडी तयार करू शकतो. दॅट मीन्स इट इज द थर्मोप्लास्टिक. जे आपण त्याला हीट करतो, हीट केल्यानंतर ते सॉफ्ट होतं आणि त्याच्यापासून आपण वेगवेगळ्या आकाराचे पदार्थ करू शकतो. दॅट इज थर्मोप्लास्टिक पॉलिमर. मेण आहे, मेण आपण वितळतो आणि मेणाला जसा आकार देईल तसा आपण त्याला आकार देऊ शकतो. थर्मोसेटिंग म्हणजे काय, त्याला जरी हीट केलं तरी ते सॉफ्ट होत नाही. सॉफ्ट केल्यामुळे त्याला आपण दुसरे आकार देऊ शकत नाही. ओके, सो फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सच thermosetting polymers as well as the thermoplastic polymers we can use the phenol. Okay, so these are the uses of. We will move to the next part of the phenol, that is the taste of phenols. Okay, so the different tests are there for the phenol. Generally it's identification test, so we'll check one by one what are the different tests, how we can identify the phenol. If two samples are there, one is phenol and another is the acid or any other amine group, so if we have to find out or identify which is the phenol and which is the amine or another, then we have to go for this kind of some test, and after performing this test we will come to know that which sample is phenol. और एखादा जर तुम्हाला सॅम्पल दिलेला असेल, अननोन सॅम्पल, प्रॅक्टिकल करता, प्रॅक्टिकल एक्झाम मध्ये तुम्हाला काय करतात, एक सॅम्पल देतात, बरोबर आहे, तुम्हाला आयडेंटिफाय करायचं असतं फिनॉल आहे का नाही, आयडेंटिफाय वेदर इट इज फिनॉल और नॉट. ॲट दॅट टाइम व्हॉट यू हॅव टू डू, यू हॅव टू परफॉर्म दिस टेस्ट, and after performing test, if these tests are their positive test, that means the given sample is phenol. If they are negative, you can say the given sample is not phenol. For that, for the identification of phenol, these tests are more important. Okay, in that the first test, that is the solubility test. Okay, so in which solvent the given phenol or phenol is soluble. Okay, so if substance is more soluble in NaOH solution than in water. Okay, so phenol काय आहे, वॉटर पेक्षा NaOH जे सोल्युशन आहे, सोडियम हायड्रॉक्साइड सोल्युशन, अल्कलाइन सोल्युशन, त्यामध्ये जास्त सोल्युबल आहे. But if insoluble in sodium bicarbonate, then it is phenol. Okay, so that is the first test, that is the solubility test. What it tells, if we add phenol in the water and if we add phenol in the NaOH solution, then it is more soluble in NaOH solution as compared to the water. And second thing, if we add phenol in sodium bicarbonate solution, then phenol is completely insoluble in sodium bicarbonate solution. So this is the first test, that is the solubility test. So what solubility test tells, phenol is insoluble in sodium bicarbonate. Okay, it is more soluble in NaOH as compared to the water. Okay, so that is the first test, that is the solubility test. Second test, that is the litmus paper test. So what is the use of litmus paper? आपण litmus paper generally कशासाठी वापरतो? To check whether given sample is acidic or basic or neutral. To identify this one, we are using the litmus paper test. Okay, so using the litmus paper, using the blue litmus paper, using the red litmus paper, we come to know that the given sample is acidic or given sample is basic or given sample is neutral. Okay, so in last lecture we have seen that the phenol is acidic, it is more acidic as compared to alcohol. So if we are going for the litmus paper test, so litmus paper must give the result that the given sample is acidic. So if we are adding the phenol or if we are taking the litmus test of the phenol, it must be the acidic to the litmus. Why? Because phenol is acidic. If litmus paper tells it is basic, that means given sample is not phenol, or if it will tell it is neutral, the given sample is not phenol. It is phenol when the litmus paper is giving the acidic taste. असं नाहीये की फक्त फिनॉल, बाकीचे ऍसिड वगैरे पण ऍसिडिक टेस्ट देतात, पण आपल्याला ह्या वन बाय वन स्टेप्स करायचे आहेत, टेस्ट करायचे आहेत, आणि फायनली आपण सांगू शकतो की गिवन सॅम्पल फिनॉल आहे का नाही. जर ऍसिडिक असेल तर ते ऍसिड पण असू शकतं, फिनॉल पण असू शकतं, पण आपण फिनॉलच्या टेस्ट करतोय वन बाय वन. सो यू कॅन से द गिवन सॅम्पल इज ऍसिडिक ऑर नॉट. सो बाय युझिंग द लिटमस पेपर टेस्ट, व्हॉट वी कम टू नो दॅट गिवन सॅम्पल इज ऍसिडिक ऑर बेसिक ऑर न्यूट्रल. ओके, so red litmus paper turns blue, blue litmus red in presence of acid, and blue paper turns red in presence of acid. So blue आहे ते रेड मध्ये कन्वर्ट झालं, सो इट इज ऍसिडिक, आणि रेड जर ब्ल्यू मध्ये कन्वर्ट झालं, it is basic. So if we are taking the litmus paper, we have to moist the litmus paper, we have to add in the phenol, then
This blue litmus, it turns red. So if blue litmus turns red, that means it is acid. So phenol is acidic in nature. So if we have to go for the taste of phenols, what we can say, it is acidic. So if we are taking the litmus paper, moist litmus paper, that is the blue litmus paper, if we add into the phenol, the blue litmus, it will turn the red. If we are taking the red litmus paper, it must remain the red. It must not change its color. Okay, so that is the litmus paper test for the phenol. Then third test, that is the ferric chloride test. Okay, so in aqueous solution of phenols, we have to add few drops of neutral ferric chloride. ओके, टेस्ट ट्यूब घ्यायचं, टेस्ट ट्यूब मध्ये फिनॉलचं ॲक्वियस सोल्युशन, फिनॉल प्लस थोडं प्रमाणात वॉटर घ्यायचं, त्याच्यामध्ये फ्यू ड्रॉप्स ऑफ न्यूट्रल फेरिक क्लोराइड ऍड करायचं. द कॉम्प्लेक्स रेड, ग्रीन और ब्लॅक कलर जो इंटेन्स असेल, डार्क असेल, that means the given sample it consists of, or there is a presence of phenol in given sample. So in neutral test, what we have to do, we have to take a aqueous solution of phenol. To the aqueous solution of phenol, we have to add the neutral ferric chloride solution. When we are adding the neutral ferric chloride solution, if it turns the intense red color or intense green color or black color, that means there is a presence of phenol, or it said there is a phenol is present. Okay, so what is the test? This is phenol, C6H5OH. This is ferric chloride. So we are adding the neutral solution of ferric chloride into the phenol. It turns this color, this complex. This complex is the intense color complex. It may give red color or green color or black color depending upon the how much amount you have added. So in that one the color change, but it may be the intense color. If it is giving the intense color, that means confirmation of phenol. So that is the third test. So आपण पहिली केली solubility test, second one acidic test, third test that is the ferric chloride test. Okay, next one Lieberman test. That is the fourth test. That is the Lieberman test. It is test for the find out whether given sample is phenol or not. Okay, so we have to take the substance, that means phenol we have to take, we have to add sulfuric acid and sodium nitrate. Okay, so when we are adding this one, we are taking a dark color product. तुम्हाला टेस्ट ट्यूब मध्ये डार्क कलर प्रोडक्ट तयार झालेला दिसेल, त्याच्यामध्ये आपण डायल्यूट NaOH ऍड करायचं. Then we are getting the intense blue or green color compound. It tells there is a presence of phenol. So that is the Lieberman's test. So what we have to do in the Lieberman test, we have to take a sample in the test tube. That means we have to take the phenol in the test tube. We have to warm. Boil करायचं नाही, फक्त आपल्याला ते warm करायचं. And after warm, we have to add sulfuric acid and sodium nitrate. And after adding, we are getting a dark color product. When we are getting the dark color product, in that solution, we have to add dilute NaOH. And when we are adding the dilute NaOH, and if we are getting the intense blue or green color, it means there is a presence of phenol. Okay, so that is the fourth test, that is the Lieberman test. Then fifth test, that is bromine water test. Okay, so in bromine water test, we have to take aqueous solution of phenol and we have to add bromine water. ब्रोमीन आणि वॉटर घ्यायचं, ते झालं ब्रोमीन वॉटर. ॲक्वियस सोल्युशन म्हणजे फिनॉल घ्यायचं, त्याच्यामध्ये थोड्या प्रमाणात वॉटर ऍड करायचं. इट बिकम्स द ॲक्वियस सोल्युशन ऑफ फिनॉल. सो इन टेस्ट ट्यूब व्हॉट वी हॅव टू टेक, वी हॅव टू टेक ॲक्वियस solution of phenol. Into that we have to add bromine water. Bromine चा generally color हा brown color असतो. If you have gone through the color of bromine, it is generally a brown color. Okay, if that brown color disappears and white precipitate is formed, that means there is a presence of phenol. म्हणजे ज्यावेळी आपण ब्रोमीन वॉटर ऍड करतो, ब्रोमीनचा ब्राउन कलर असतो, तो ब्राउन कलर डिसअपियर होतो, आणि जो डिसअपियर झालेला ब्राउन कलर तिथे आपल्याला व्हाईट कलर प्रेसिपिटेट मिळतो. इफ वी आर गेटिंग द सच काइंड ऑफ व्हाईट कलर प्रेसिपिटेट, इट इंडिकेट्स दॅट देयर इज अ प्रेझेन्स ऑफ फिनॉल. सो हा व्हाईट कलर प्रेसिपिटेट का तयार होतो, because when phenol is reacted with the bromine water, we are getting the tribromophenol, and this tribromophenol is insoluble, it is white color, that's why we are getting the white color precipitate. So that is the reaction. So this is the phenol, this is the bromine. So 2 4 6 2 comma 4 comma 6 tribromophenol, we are getting tribromophenol, which is the white color precipitate. So if white color precipitate is formed, that means in given sample phenol is present, so phenol confirm. Are you getting the point? Okay, so these are the tests we have to perform for the identification of phenol. Which is the first test? Solubility test. Solubility test काय सांगतं? It is insoluble in sodium bicarbonate, soluble in NaOH, less soluble in water. Litmus पेपर काय सांगतं? फिनॉल इज ऍसिडिक. सो फिनॉल सोल्युशन मध्ये जर आपण लिटमस पेपर ऍड केला, लिटमस पेपरची टेस्ट घेतली, इट गिव्स द ऍसिडिक. दॅट मीन्स द ब्ल्यू लिटमस इट विल टर्न रेड. देन फेरिक्लोराइड मध्ये काय करतं? फेरिक्लोराइड जर आपण टाकलं तर आपल्याला इंटेन्स कलरचा रेड, ग्रीन और ब्लॅक कॉम्प्लेक्स मिळतो, तो फॉर्म झालेला असतो. तो जर कलर मिळाला, इट इंडिकेट्स देयर इज अ प्रेझेन्स ऑफ फिनॉल. दॅट इज द फेरिक्लोराइड test. Then fourth test, Lieberman's test. In Lieberman test, what we are doing? We are to warm the phenol with sulfuric acid and sodium nitrate. Then we are getting the dark color product that we have to treat it with the dilute NaOH. Then we are getting the intense blue or green color in the presence of phenols. Okay, the intense color मिळाला, blue green color, that means phenol confirm. And last test, that is the bromine water test. So when bromine reacts with the phenol, it forms tribromophenol, which is white color precipitate. Hence, during the test, if we are taking aqueous solution of phenol and we are adding the bromine water, so the reaction between bromine and this phenol takes place and it forms 2,4,6 tribromophenol, which is the white color precipitate. And due to the white color precipitate, brown color disappears, we are getting the white color precipitate. This white color precipitate is formed, that means the phenol is confirmed. Okay, so these are the tests for the identification of.
So other uses of phenols, that is already we have seen. Making the phenol formaldehyde resins, साठी वापरतो. Bakelite is the example. For the synthesis of aspirin and phenol dyes, okay, त्यासाठी starting material म्हणून आपण phenol हे वापरतो. So phenol is useful for the starting material of synthesis of aspirin as well as the phenolphthalein. Then it is used in the molecular biology for obtaining the acids from the tissue or cell culture. त्याच्यापासून न्यूक्लिक ऍसिड जर ऑप्टेन करायचं असेल RNA DNA, so त्यासाठी आपण फिनॉल वापरतो. इट कॅन बी यूज ॲज अ एक्सप्लोजिव्ह लाईक पिक्रिक ऍसिड प्रमाणे एक्सप्लोजिव्ह म्हणून वापरू शकतो. अँटीसेप्टिक म्हणून वापरू शकतो. क्लोरॉक्झिलेनॉल इज द मेन इन्ग्रेडियंट इन डेटॉल. डेटॉलमध्ये जे क्लोरॉक्झिलेनॉल असते, इट इज द पार्ट ऑफ द फिनॉल विच इज यूज ॲज द अँटीसेप्टिक. आणि हर्बिसाइड, प्रिझर्वेटिव्ह, गॅसोलिन ॲडिटिव्ह यामध्ये सुद्धा आपण याचा वापर करू शकतो. ओके, सो दीज आर सम अदर uses, or these are the useful things in case of phenol. So it can act as a disinfectant, it can be act as the antiseptic, it can be useful for the manufacturing of the aspirin, it is used for the manufacturing of plastic resin. So for that the phenol is used. So the next compound is the cresol. It is the compound in which a methyl group is attached to the phenol. When methyl group is attached to the phenol, it is called as the cresol. So there are generally three types of cresol. If it is present methyl group at the ortho position, it is called as orthocresol. If it is present at the meta position, it is called as metacresol. If it is present at the para position, it is called as the paracresol. So if a methyl group is present or substituted to the phenol, then it is called as cresol. So cresol may be orthocresol, metacresol, or it may be the paracresol. So this cresol consists of a CH3 group. So as it consists of CH3 group, CH3 group is electron donating group. So if electron donating group is present in the phenol, then the acidity of phenol decreases. That's why the cresol is less acidic as compared to phenol. So phenol is more acidic as compared to cresol. Okay, then next part, uses of cresol. So cresol can be used as disinfectant, preservative, as well as the wood preservative. So it is also useful as a solvent, as a disinfectant, as well as a chemical intermediate for the preparation of different chemicals. The intermediates are required. So that chemical intermediates, it can be prepared with the help of orthocresol. Then metacresol is used to produce herbicides. It is also used as a precursor for the insecticides. It also produces antioxidant, and it manufactures the explosive, that is the 2,4,6 trinitrometacresol. Okay, so this is the use of metacresol. And paracresol is used in the formulation of antioxidant as a fragrant and dye industries it is used. So these are the uses of cresol. So or the cresol are their mixture, that is the ortho, meta and para. They can be used as a disinfectant, preservative and the wood preservative. The orthocresol, it is used as a solvent, disinfectant, as a chemical intermediate. The paracresol, it is used in the fragrance industry, it is used in the dye industry. It is also used as the antioxidant. This metacresol, it is used for the preparation of herbicides, insecticide. It is also produces antioxidant, and it is useful for the manufacturing of explosive, that is the 2,4,6 tinitro-metacresol. Okay, so this is the structure and uses of cresols. So the next compound is the resorcinol. So if a benzene ring, it consists of two hydroxy groups which are meta position to each other. So if you consider this hydroxy group, this is ortho, this is meta. If we are considering this as a hydroxy group of the phenol, it is the ortho, it is the meta. So if benzene ring consists of two hydroxy groups which are meta to each other, such compound is called as a resorcinol. Again, these hydroxy groups, these are electron donating groups. So if electron donating groups are present in the given phenol, then what happens? The acidity of phenol decreases. So it is also the less acidic as compared to the phenol. So phenol is more acidic than the resorcinol, as resorcinol consists of hydroxy group, which is the electron donating group. So if electron donating group is present, it can donate the electron. So the capacity of phenol to accept the electron decreases. So it becomes less acidic. Then uses so as an external agent, it can be used as an antiseptic as well as the disinfectant. So generally 5 to 10% solution of resorcinol, it is used for the treatment of स्किन डिसीजेस. सो स्किन डिसीजेससाठी जे ऑइंटमेंट वापरतो आपण त्या ऑइंटमेंटमध्ये 5 ते 10% क्रिसॉल सॉरी रिसोर्सिनॉल हे प्रेझेंट असतं. सो इट इज यूज ॲज अ अँटीसेप्टिक ॲज वेल ॲज द डिसइन्फेक्टंट. सो डिसीजेस सजेस्ट सोरायसिस असेल, एक्झिमा असेल, सुप्रावायटिया असेल. सो फॉर दॅट we can use the ointment which consists of the 5 to 10% solution of the resorcinol. That is the first use. Second use, a 2% solution used as a spray for the treatment of hay fever and whooping cough. So सध्या मार्केटेड जे प्रोडक्ट आहेत whooping cough किंवा hay fever, त्याच्या ट्रीटमेंटमध्ये 2% सोल्युशन हे रिसोसिनॉलचं प्रेझेंट असतं. So that is the second use. Then third use, it is used as anti-dandruff agent in different shampoos and sunscreen cosmetics. So anti-dandruff agent म्हणून सुद्धा याचा वापर होतो. Next use, in case of gastric ulcer, it can be used in the pills. So it act as a hemostasis as well as the analgesic. So त्यामध्ये सुद्धा याचा वापर होतो. जनरली हे लार्ज डोस मध्ये हे पॉइझन असते. आणि काही मेडिकेटेड सोप जे आहेत त्या मेडिकेटेड सोप मध्ये सुद्धा रिसोसिनॉलचा वापर केलेला असतो. दीज आर सम युजेस ऑफ दी रिसोसिनॉल. सो अँटीसेप्टिक डिसइन्फेक्टंट म्हणून डिफरंट स्किन डिसीज मध्ये म्हणून वापरू शकतो. हे फिवर किंवा होपिंग कफ मध्ये जे स्प्रे वापरतो आपण त्या स्प्रे मध्ये 2% सोल्युशन हे रिसोसिनॉलचं वापरलं जातं. अँटी डॅन्ड्रफ एजंट म्हणून वापरलं जातं. गॅस्ट्रिक अल्सरच्या ट्रीटमेंटला वापरलं जातं. as well as this risosinol is present as a constituent or as a part of the medicated soap. Okay, then we are moving to the last part of the first topic, that is the phenol, that is last compound, that is the 1-naphthol. It is also called as alpha naphthol, and 2-naphthol, it is also called as the beta naphthol. So generally the numbering starts from this carbon here also you can find out. On the first carbon atom, if hydroxy group is present, then the compound is called as 1-naphthol. It is also called as the alpha naphthol. And at the second position, the hydroxy group is present. It is called as beta naphthol. It is also called as the 2-naphthol. So depending upon the position of hydroxy group, the naphthol compound is the 1 or 2-naphthol. So what is naphthol? Or what is the structure of naphthol? If a benzene ring is fused with the phenol, the structure becomes the naphthol. And if in that naphthol the hydroxy group is at the first position, that naphthol becomes alpha naphthol or 1-naphthol. And if hydroxy group is present at the second position, then it becomes 2-naphthol or the beta naphthol. So what is naphthol structure? It is the phenol which is fused with the another benzene ring. So the such structure is called as the alpha naphthol or the beta naphthol. Then we are moving to the last part, that is the uses. So generally the naphthol, they are useful as a reagent in the determination of different compounds, like determination of carbohydrates, then determination of amino acid like arginine, or determination of conversion of glucose into the acetone with the help of bacteria. So ह्या सगळ्यासाठी ज्या टेस्ट करतो आपण त्या टेस्ट मधला एक रिएजंट म्हणून बीटा नॅफ्थॉल किंवा अल्फा नॅफ्थॉल आपण वापरतो. सो वी विल चेक वन बाय वन what are the uses of naphthol. So 1-naphthol or alpha naphthol, it is used as a precursor in variety of insecticides, including carbaryl and nadolol in pharmaceutical. ओके, सो जे इन्सेक्टिसाइड्स आहेत त्यासाठी लागणारे जे प्रिकर्सर्स आहेत किंवा केमिकल्स आहेत त्याचे प्रिकर्सर म्हणून आपण अल्फा नॅफ्थॉलचा वापर करतो. त्यानंतर सेकंड वन मॉलिश टेस्ट. मॉलिश टेस्ट माहिती आपल्याला फॉर द आयडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ कार्बोहायड्रेट, द गिवन सॅम्पल इज कार्बोहायड्रेट और नॉट. For that identification, Mollis test is used. If you have gone through this Mollis test, you can find out there is a one solution called as solution of alpha naphthol in the ethanol that is used for the detection of carbohydrate in the Mollis test. So here 1-naphthol dissolved in ethanol is used as the reagent. Then third one, in the determination of arginine in the protein. So arginine हे अमायनो ऍसिड आहे. सो प्रोटीन मध्ये भरपूर अमायनो ऍसिड असतात. सो दिलेल्या प्रोटीन मध्ये अर्जिनिन हे अमायनो ऍसिड प्रेझेंट आहे का नाही ते आयडेंटिफाय करण्यासाठी जी टेस्ट असते सॅकागुची टेस्ट, त्या सॅकागुची टेस्ट मध्ये अल्फा नॅप्थॉल हे सोडियम हायपोब्रोमाइड मध्ये वापरलेलं असतं. देन इन ओक्स प्रोस्क्युअर टेस्ट इट इज uses 1-naphthol in potassium hydroxide solution for the detection of breakdown of glucose into acetone, which is takes place by the bacteria. Okay, so for all these we can use the naphthol. So naphthol चा जनरली यूज काय आयडेंटिफिकेशन टेस्ट मध्ये naphthol हे रिएजंट म्हणून वापरलं जातं. Okay, so this is about the different compound which comes under the phenols. Okay, so we will stop here. From next lecture, we will start next part. Okay, thank you.